Whispers of Obsession, The Reflection That Remained. By R. R. Carrington. The house was never meant to survive the century. It leaned like a tired breath against the sharp wind sweeping in from the coast, its frame warped from salt and sorrow. The locals called it the fog nest, half in jest, half in dread, because it always seemed to disappear when you looked at it too long, like something refusing to be seen. Eliza Morn didn't believe in ghost stories. At least, she hadn't, until the day she inherited one. She stood on the porch now, boots crunching over broken seashells, a tarnished brass key trembling between her fingers. Wind howled across the cliffs behind her, but the old blue door didn't move. Just that mirror. Watching. It hung crooked in the entryway window, filthy and silver-lipped, like it had been waiting. The house had belonged to her great-uncle Bernard Morn, a reclusive antiques dealer who spent his life collecting objects from estate sales, overseas markets, and whispered auctions in places not found on maps. According to the will, Eliza had inherited everything: the house, the thousands of tagged objects in storage, and most notably, the mirror. It had no provenance, no date, no signature. But it had a warning. Stapled to a sealed envelope. Do not attempt to move without gloves. Do not face directly in darkness. That was her first warning. The second came when she found the recorder. It was an old reel-to-reel machine, dusty but still plugged in. A single reel sat loaded, the tape looped, waiting. So she pressed play. Static. Incomplete. I've tried marking the frames, tried filming it, but it always distorts. It doesn't reflect. It remembers. Eliza leaned closer. I believe it's a memory trap. Not a mirror in the traditional sense. Whatever looks into it, part of them stays. The man who sold it to me called it the looking grave. I've covered it in salt. It doesn't help. God help me, I think it remembers me now. Cut. Eliza stopped the tape. And there it was again, hanging on the wall behind the study desk. The mirror. She walked toward it slowly. The glass was smooth, flawless, except for the center, where the reflection warped in a spiral no wider than a coin. She saw her face. Her eyes. And then. Not her. Just for a flash. Another woman's face. Same cheekbones. Same mouth. But older. Sadder. Eliza stumbled back and nearly knocked over a wooden crate labeled "Recovered from apartment 3B." The crate was scuffed and splintered, bound with rusted latches. Its label read, "Recovered from apartment 3B. Do not store near mirrors." The same mirror now rippling with strange reflections. She pried open the crate. Inside, a journal. Black leather, torn at the corners, its spine etched with crescent-shaped gouges. She lifted it. And instantly, a chill threading through her memory rather than her skin. The first pages were blank. But then, a shaky scrawl appeared. He's watching me sleep again. But this time, I didn't wake up. Flip. Every time I look into the mirror, I feel someone still looking back after I turn away. Flip. I've stopped turning on the lights. Flip. I think my reflection doesn't want to go back. Eliza's hands trembled. She glanced back at the mirror. It hadn't moved. But it had focused. She turned toward the window and froze. It was open. She hadn't opened it. When she looked back at the mirror, the journal in her hands was still visible. But in the reflection, it was open to a different page. She flipped through the journal to match it. This time, the ink was dark, almost rusted. It read, "The mirror remembers things I haven't done yet. I wake up with bruises I didn't earn. I've stopped dreaming. But someone else dreams through me. And beneath it, do not open the mirror at 3:33 a.m. If you do, it won't be you who closes it." Eliza staggered back. But her reflection. It didn't follow. It stayed frozen, reaching for the window. When she hurled a brass letter opener at the glass, it didn't crack. But her reflection did. A spiderweb of cracks spread across her reflected face, and then reset. The mirror was whole again. As if nothing had ever happened. She ran for the study. No signal on her phone. A folder lay waiting on the desk. Unlabeled. Bound in twine. Inside. Dozens of reports. One stood out. Displacement events, case number 001, the Langford child. 1958. Apartment 3B. A 9-year-old girl had spoken to her reflection for weeks. Until one day, her parents couldn't wake her. Her body slept. But her mind had gone somewhere else. And when she finally opened her eyes, she didn't recognize them. Her first words. "That wasn't my sleep. That wasn't my name." A gust knocked over a box. Polaroids spilled across the floor. Each photo showed a different mirror. Broken. Fogged. Streaked with impossible fingerprints. The last photo chilled Eliza to the bone. It was the mirror now hanging in the study. The timestamp, March 13th, 3:33 a.m. 2 nights ago. And in the reflection, Eliza. Wearing the same sweater, the same hair, the same expression. 2 nights ago. When she had been home, asleep. Or thought she had. On the back of the photo. Repeat occurrences observed. Memory instability likely. Timeline bleed confirmed. And then. Click. The old recorder spun to life. "Eliza Morn," a voice whispered. "You've already opened the mirror once. You just don't remember." The reels stopped spinning. On the mirror's surface, faintly etched in fog. "Look behind the glass." She hesitated. Wrapped her hand in a scarf. And reached behind the mirror. Her fingers met, nothing. A tear. A seam in the world. And from the other side. Something grasped her hand. A whisper filled her mind. "You brought me here. I only want to go back." She yanked her hand free. Something stayed behind. A brass key. Numbered 3B. The study darkened. The mirror showed the house behind her, but older. Different. And in the center of that reflected house. A woman in gray. Face hidden. The woman raised her hand against the glass. And in her other hand. An identical key. Eliza understood. One key to open. One key to close. Slowly, she pressed her key against the mirror. The woman mirrored her. The seam split open. Beyond it, a hallway lined with mirrors. Each showing a different reflection. Some were her. Some were not. The woman in gray stepped forward. And Eliza gasped. It was her. Older. Hollowed. The woman whispered. "We do not leave the mirror unchanged. You open the door. Now walk through it." The mirror folded shut. The woman disappeared. The study returned to silence. But the key remained. Still warm in Eliza's hand. And as she turned to leave, her reflection smiled. She hadn't. You've just experienced the reflection that remained, the haunting origin story of the Whispers of Obsession series. But the story is only beginning. Dive deeper into the mystery with Whispers of Obsession, The Woman in Apartment 3B, available now on Amazon, and continue the obsession, if you dare.